Raji. So in case you haven't done the search yet for a dumb phone, here's the TLDR. Pretty much all of them have a, how can I put this? They all kind of suck. There's always something that is really good about them, but then there's a ton to be desired. Like there's a ton of stuff missing, or things just don't line up that great. So it's just very hard. And I thought it would be easy. It all started with this
This is a
video.
BlackBerry Classic Q20 from 2014. I bought this secondhand off Carousel for $2,000.
I wanted a BlackBerry. Realized in this time, it's just not feasible. All right, I wanted a BlackBerry Bold specifically. That is the phone that my dad had. I wanted it super bad. Couldn't get it at the time. It just doesn't work anymore because it's on 2G networks. I finally made my decision, and I have been using this phone for a month. I think I found the best dumb phone, and that is the Unihertz Jelly Star. It's this tiny, tiny, tiny little guy. What a game changer this phone has been, honestly. Now, really quickly, before I get into some of the details of the phone, not necessarily specs, because I mean, again, it's a dumb phone. I just want to talk about how it's affected me personally. There's one thing you should really know, and it's the fact that it does not get security updates. That's a big miss. Like, that is a huge miss for this phone. Another thing is that this phone only works for specific carriers. If it's based off of T-Mobile towers, you're good. Any other company, it's kind of a toss-up, to be honest. And thankfully, I can confirm that on Mint Mobile, this phone works perfectly fine. It gets RCS messaging. God damn it, that's like the fifth take. And I haven't had any drop in signal, so it's been working really good. This video is not a review of the phone. It's more so on how it affected me personally. But of course, if you're buying this little thing, you're gonna wanna know what's under the hood and what features it has. And I'm gonna show you exactly what I did here to kind of make it into a dumb phone. And as you can see here, I have it on a launcher, the O launcher, to make it dumbified per se. I have no extra apps on here, and that's pretty much all. And again, to make this short, the phone is snappy, and I did see that it does take slightly longer to open certain apps. And you can see how tiny that little camera is, okay? And it has a super tiny one in the front too. This camera, for photos, it's good. For video, it's looking like a 2015, maybe 2010 laptop. There's zero stabilization on it, so you're not going to get anything crazy out of it, but it does the job, and that is pretty much all that I needed for this thing, right? The speakers on this are loud enough. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like they're as loud as the speakers on something like my Fold or my S21 Ultra or an iPhone. Again, look how tiny this is, okay? This is, what can I find? All right, look, here we go. This is a perfect comparison. You have is this Hot Wheels or Matchbox? You have a Matchbox Honda Civic, right? Okay, like that gives you an idea of truly how small this phone is. It's like about the same thickness of this Honda Civic. So for battery life with this little phone here, this thing would last me 3 days easily, and it would, it die like near the end of the night of the third day, and that pretty much covers all grounds. I don't think I have anything else. If I really want to go into detail of me testing and doing all this other stuff, I don't want to do that. Again, this isn't a video of a review of the phone. It's a review of what it's done for me personally. The way that I've been using this phone is sort of a dumb phone plus is what I'm going to call it, because at the end of the day, like you saw a few moments ago, I downloaded O Launcher. It's super simple. You come here, you see my little things. I have the weather channel, Keep Notes, Spotify, Messages, Calendar, Chrome, and Gmail. I also changed the phone's color to grayscale, so that way there's no flashy colors here to tempt me to get on the phone. You can see YouTube here is completely just grayed out. There is absolutely zero color on here. It gets me to not want to look at my phone. And honestly, it's a fantastic feeling. I don't have any notifications on for this phone. Well, notifications, yes, for calls, text, alarms, and also calendar events, because, well, I feel like that's a good thing to have. Now, as far as how it's gotten me a little bit disconnected, in a good way, of course, I have looked over my stats for everything, and it's kind of absurd how much media and how many things, like we watch and how much time is spent doing these things, right? Because I didn't think it was that bad for me. I don't think anybody really does until you strip it away from yourself. My YouTube time, just from switching to this phone, was cut by 50%. 50. Okay, that is major. I went from, I think it was like 3.5 hours to 1.5. And honestly, most of those are me listening to like soft piano music or something like that while I'm doing the dishes. Before, I always used to have like videos playing in the background and such, but that's a topic for another day. I only watch YouTube now if I'm sitting down to maybe like eat or something. My screen time on my phone went from 4 hours daily to less than two. And again, it's because sometimes I might have, music or something like that playing on my phone. And even then, a lot of times I don't even hit those 2 hours. Like that's just an average. It's been really nice. And I keep bringing it up to my fiance and I keep talking to her about it, and it's funny because it's to the point where she's actually seeing these changes herself, and it's making her not want to go to the extreme like this, but it's making her want to take those first steps that I was taking in the beginning to kind of climb to the point where I'm at now. And it makes me happy because I think everybody should have this feeling. Carrying this phone has given me the same feeling as going out somewhere without your phone. And I don't know when was the last time any of you did that, but it's a great feeling. There's a sense of being disconnected from everybody, which is needed sometimes. I come from an era where we had a family computer, right? I didn't have laptops throughout my house, I didn't have phones throughout my house. We had a family computer tucked in the corner inside a computer cabinet, right? There was literally like a rectangular thing in the corner of the room, near the living room, where that's where we had our computer. I played World of Warcraft when I was a kid. I did all that stuff on the computer, but I didn't always have it with me. Too much of a thing is never good, no matter what it is, right? I still kept my S21. If I ever need anything, I can always pull this phone out and take a look. I sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace often, so of course that comes in handy, not having to be on my computer. The way that I run it is that when I'm working, I turn this phone on. I work in IT. I need multi-factor authentication. I need a secure phone. Like I need that type of stuff. So I use this while I'm working during the work week. And then when I get off of work, I turn it off and I throw it in the drawers that you see behind me. I'm able to disconnect again, toss it in the drawer. But at the same time, I'm very connected because I realized now that I don't have everybody at my fingertips at all times, I'm texting people, I'm calling people, I'm rekindling flames that I didn't before because, well, whenever I felt like connecting or socializing, you have social media, you have Reddit, you have X, formerly known as Twitter, you have YouTube, you have Instagram. So as you can see, like this has made a big change personally for me, and I definitely think it has been a change for the better. It has its cons, which I'll get into in a few. Having a phone like this, it's 100% always going to have its cons. My overall thought process and mood has changed the way that I am at work as far as focusing, not always having something in the background. One thing I did want to bring up as well is cost. My phone bill at AT&T was about $150, give or take, monthly for 2 lines. At Mint, I spend $180 for 2 phones for 3 months. That's over $1,000 that you are saving yearly just by switching. By the way, that's an unlimited plan. I switched to the 15 gig plan, which is I think $20 monthly, so it's $60 every 3 months. And I'm possibly gonna go to the 5 or 10 or whatever the next drop down is if I'm not even using 15 gigs, which from the looks of it, I'm not. It's kind of crazy. You're spending less, and somehow my quality of life has improved. Going on our walks in the morning, or going on a hike, going places, and not having technology with me except for what I absolutely need, which is a phone, I have truly enjoyed life more than I have within the past however long. I'm not saying my life was like terrible or something like that, but being able to live life is such a beautiful thing, and I don't think we realize it because we are so stuck on our phones. So we talked about the phone and all of its great things, but of course, the grass is always greener. So what are some of the cons that this phone has? And it's hard to come up with them because as of right now, I can't really say that there is much. The first thing is those security updates. That is a super important thing, man. And I this phone again does not get them. You better pray that it gets one. But as of right now, it's old. The security update on this is old. Another thing that I noticed, actually, I can probably even pull it up here. This is an older version of Android, but bringing down this menu where you can have all of your shortcuts. You see that? I just swiped and it didn't go. And it's only with this menu, it does it every single time. And sometimes I have to swipe it like 4 times before it decides, like, oh, he's trying to move this over. I guess the last thing that I can really think of is that this phone is just from some random Chinese company, right? Unihertz. For all I know, all of my information that I'm putting on here can be sent to some random person across the globe. But the way that I think of it at this point, who doesn't have my information? If you signed up for Wish.com when it was popular, if you signed up for Temu, if you signed up for the Home app, if you signed up for Alibaba, I hate to break it to you, but your information's been sold 20 times over already. Okay, so at this point, again, I don't have any of my banking stuff on here. I just have my email and my contacts and my text messages. And that's what it's used for. And actually, no. Here's the final thing, or I guess I would have put it in here. It's the fact that the phone doesn't have stabilization for the video. I was expecting this to be the most potato quality camera of all time. Okay, so the fact that I can even take photos with this, I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm not going to add that to the negatives because do you really expect a stabilizer in this phone? Like, let's be honest. Anyways, that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it opened your mind a little bit to maybe try dumbifying your phone a little bit. If you guys have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. I want to see a discussion. I'm out. Peace.